Good morning everybody and welcome to my vlog. Bike's in the back. Today we're going to London and meeting up with Mark.
Hey, you're here!
Hi, how's it going, matey?
Hey, I was going to plug in, I didn't.
Yeah, well we're plugged in anyway, so we've already moved on to talking about gadgets.
We've not even got the bikes out.
Yeah, we're still in the car parking space, and so far we've discussed 3 various technological bits and bobs that are awesome. I mean, that's just how it goes. That looks amazing.
4K 120 slow motion. It's got a low light mode, but the difference between the low light mode and the normal mode is barely noticeable. So you just leave it in normal mode. It is just turn it off, flip the screen, goes off, parks the gimbal.
Low light is one of the things that I really struggle. It's the only thing that I'm not so keen on with this particular camera, which is the GoPro Hero 9, which I think is a great camera and it's a more robust version of that, which is one thing I'll say.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't have any moving parts and it is waterproof, but I do always feel that it struggles with, you know, grain in low light.
Fixed focus, everything's in focus on that. Whereas this, it's got a showcase mode, a bit like the ZV-1. Gives you a little bit of depth of field.
Broker in the background. Yeah. Should we get stuff ready then?
Yeah.
Head out.
Get the bikes out. London in autumn time. We are now recording 60 frames. Yeah. Internal audio. Tracking me, tracking my face. But equally, I can track you. Now you go centre frame, and then I want to move you to there. So I'm in as well.
How's it? This is like.
What's that?
How do you move it?
Oh, just on a little joystick. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's lost. It's lost us.
The face is here.
There we
go.
go.
No, it's got me.
I just want a little.
Oh, no, wrong way. There we go.
And now it will hold you in that.
Okay. That is pretty cool.
It's horribly good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It is horribly good.
And where's the audio coming from at the moment? The camera?
Yeah, there is a microphone here.
Yeah.
And 2 at the sides and 1 at the front.
Reasonably windproof, just by default, you reckon?
Let's suck it and see. But if not, then...
Yeah, then you got the proper one, haven't you?
Yeah, and in order to... You watch how quick that pairs. So, powering on. 2 seconds. You will see the levels at the top. There. Boom.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
And now it's recording on that.
Yeah, maybe this would be like a present to myself for, you know...
A reward!
When I get some big jobs done in the new year.
And the low light is nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts.
Can you video in RAW?
Yes. It's 10-bit colour.
Nice.
Log. So... And also there's 3 settings. Normal, which is I think is 8-bit colour. It's unknown whether it's 8 or 10. Some people say it's 10. Some people say it's 8. There's then a HDR, but the HDR you need a proper monitor, proper HDR monitor to see the yeah. And then there's D-Log 10-bit. It's a cool bit of kit. And the slow mo is nuts. 120 FPS. 4K. Wow. It doesn't record audio. Sounds a bit daft. But all you do is you would record local audio on that. Because this has got 8 gig of memory and you can record direct to that.
And then that's easy.
Yeah, simple.
Very nice, Mark. Very nice. I don't need to see any more. Please, take it away. Take it away. Mark has just told me, unbelievably, that there is a setting on Samsung phones now where you can protect your battery and stop it from charging above 85%. I have tried to find a third-party piece of software to do this job. Like, this was about 5 years ago, and I must have spent hours and hours and hours, and they've finally done it. So I'm really happy about this, and now all of my devices are going to have this battery protection option that's in the settings turned on, and I think it's a really good idea because phone batteries dying or becoming significantly worse than they were to begin with is a major downside of lithium-ion, powered phones, which is all of them.
Unless you're selling phones.
Yeah, unless you're selling phones. But
you want your phone to die in about...
Samsung did add it, I mean, that does tell you something.
And to quantify your word now, it was probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, I didn't realise that they've added this.
We need to get together a little bit more than we have.
Yeah, that's obviously the problem. Battery protection, cannot believe it, just hiding there at the bottom of settings.
It's off by default though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, of course, because whilst they might like to provide something nice for the people that care about their batteries, most of the time they just want to sell more phones. The roads of the future, basically full of people. No cars. Is this actually pedestrianised or not? Are they trying to make the place feel Christmassy, or has that happened by accident? So what are you saying, it's happened by accident?
Yeah, it's always like this.
Nice. Don't feel like I've been in this part of London for a long time. Dad used to love it round here. Back in the day. Oh, miss my dad. That was quite funny, that. You should have got two.
Are you not eating?
No, this one's all yours.
No. Just for the camera, no it's not.
Home sliced pizza. Very tasty. Went there with my dad a while ago. And Jasper. Really good fun. When I say a while ago, I mean obviously like 7 years ago, or something, 6 years ago. God, time flies. Christmas is coming. Time to talk about some AI then. Elon Musk has been interviewed by the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, which is kind of mad. And they were at the AI conference that was recently held in Bletchley at the beginning of November. It's kind of ironic because on the one hand, Elon Musk is all very sort of cautious when it comes to AI. But at the same time, he started a business called XAI, and they've just released a chatbot that's in beta called Grok, and it's on X. It's just in beta at the moment, and I think it's a closed beta, so you can't just use it, and it will eventually get rolled out to all the premium buyers of X, almost said Twitter. And yeah, apparently it's just basically a bit like ChatGPT, but with a better sense of humour. So I'm not sure what the huge value that brings is, but it's interesting. And it's interesting how quickly he's been able to throw it together, and I have no idea if it'll be any good, but I'm sure it'll be interesting and perhaps funny, don't know. But anyway, so in this interview with Rishi Sunak, he was basically claiming that AI is going to end all work. Whilst I wouldn't go so far as to say all work, it's definitely going to change society dramatically. I mean, it already has. If I need a bit of graphic design, then it's very easy for me to just go on Photoshop or Canva and I type in a few words and out comes something that I can use to start the process. Usually it's not a totally hands-free thing, but it is amazing what you can produce. You can produce music, you can produce lyrics. You've got the new Beatles song. I mean, look at that. They'll be able to produce whole original works of art. Well, they already do, and talking about pictures and drawings, but just click of the button and out it comes. So where does that leave creative artists? I mean, you can trade on your name and you can trade on the fact that it's made by a human, but it's, for a lot of things, not necessary that it was made by a human. What's necessary is that you got it and you got it cheap. And that, I'm not even touched on what happens when you throw robots into the mix. There's going to be a time when, if we're not careful, the only time anyone can get a job is if they can do the job cheaper than a robot. Or, so basically you'll have two kinds of people in the world. The people that own everything, and there'll be a very small number of them, and then the people that do the work that is not worth enough to actually task a robot to do it.
if we go that second.
It doesn't sound like a much like fun world, and I'm not even sure society would function properly like that, because it requires the money to flow round in circles. I agree with Elon Musk. I think there's a lot of worrying trends going on. I don't think this is like, you know, the last time that technology severely disrupted people's work lives, you know, with the old Luddites and the mills and, you know, the advent of industrialization. That was certainly a disruption, but it actually created an awful lot of replacement jobs which were better than the jobs that it got rid of. Whereas the problem with AI is because it's actually the thinking bit that gets replaced, and or the manual bit as well, what you end up with is nothing left for people to do except own it. That's like the only job left, is the owning of things. I mean, you could be like, oh well, you know, there'll be programmers for AI. No, there won't. Why would you need a programmer? You've got the AI. You can already write code with ChatGPT. Is it perfect? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. But it won't be long before one programmer can do the work of 10, and then soon enough it'll be one programmer does the work of 100, and then it'll be no programmer, just CEO says, I need new interface for X, I want it to look like this, and oh, out it comes. A lot of change coming. Don't know where it's going to end up. Bit worrying. And the park we're currently in is beautiful. Mark's been using his DJI, was it DJI Pocket 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he's been using that. He's got some, what I'm quite sure are stunning shots of the local geese, which I will show you now. To be honest, I'm sorry if I sound a bit down. We were just over at the Cenotaph where there were a couple of police officers guarding it against graffiti and interference. It's quite a depressing view. I mean, I understand that police officers, they only see the worst of society, but still, you know, talking to them, it's not encouraging. I like to be more upbeat than this normally. I did enjoy the pizza though. That was yummy. Right, we're going to crack on. This is not supposed to work like this.
That is a hardware fault, because it doesn't do anything. That's not good.
That is the one reservation I've always had about the DJI Pocket devices, is there's a lot of moving parts.
Not good.
And it's a bit like with electric vehicles. Less moving parts equals more reliability. I have had no problems with my trusty GoPro Hero 9. And yeah, it is a very cool device though, and I do very much like the footage that comes out of it. It's just, it's got a lot of moving parts. Brilliant, we're back. It's been a really good fun day. I'm a bit out of breath because I've been steaming down the, what was it, Bayswater Road. Yeah, that was good fun, that was. I always like doing that one in the dark because it's downhill, so you know the bike will do a good 20 miles an hour without me having to worry about the lack of power and all that. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed today's video and found it fun and interesting, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next episode of my vlog. Bye!